want to encourage you today. We're going to talk about how to imagine better and be better. What does that mean? I want you to know that your imagination is not evil. So many people have been told by Christianity and Christians that they are evil and because they use their imagination. I want you to know using your imagination is not evil. Using your imagination is the power of productivity. The way you're going to produce anything in life starts with your imagination. If you don't have an active imagination, there's very little that you're going to be able to produce. You can align with someone who has a great imagination and help build what they're building, but you're still going to have to use your imagination to see your hands at work in it. If you can't see yourself working in it, you won't see yourself working in it, right? You want to understand that. And when you know that you can see yourself doing something, see yourself driving that car, see yourself living in that house, see yourself running that business. If you can't see yourself doing it, then you will never do it. It comes with seeing yourself and using your imagination. And I know that there's a lot of people, you've heard that. And if you've heard that, say it in the chat. Tell me that, because I've heard people say, yeah, I've been told that imagination is wicked, it's wrong, it's unrighteous, it's not good, it's not godly to use your imagination. And there's always going to be that idea where using your imagination is something that is wrong, and that everything you get should be so practical directly from God himself. And I want you to know God is one that whispers into your imagination. If you think about creation itself, he used his imagination to create. He used his imagination to create you and I. Look at you. Come on. He used his imagination to create us. I just sometimes I look at people and I go, what were you thinking, Lord? What were you like? I mean, this right here. Come on. Before I get into the teaching, let's just talk about this. This right here. Two holes coming out of the side of your head with some skin flaps wrapped around it. I mean, come on, that is crazy looking stuff, right? Now, I understand God knows the functionality of it, but his imagination was wild. I'll see some underwater stuff and I'll see, like, deep diving underwater, and I think, oh my goodness, but look at that animal right there. What is that? What were you thinking, God? He was using his imagination. And God has created us in his image, in his likeness, that we have an imagination that can see and go beyond anything else that we've ever done before. But if you only see yourself living in the past references, that's where your imagination dies. Imagination goes to die in the references of your past. And you need to get rid of the references of your past that kill your imagination. Now, you can use the references of the past that activate imagination. Your new business idea is going to need you to be more imaginative than ever before. Your family, your relationship with your coworkers is going to need you to be more imaginative than ever before. You're going to have to activate your imagination in 2023, the whole year of 2021, 2022, all of these people that have pivoted and then pivoted again and changed and pivoted again, what are they doing? They're activating their imagination to see that there's something better, and we're going to change it. We're going to try something new. We're going to experiment. We're going to activate something. I want you to become someone who is activating your imagination by seeing what's possible, not just being a positive thinker, but a possibility thinker, someone who goes, it's possible this is going to work, and then build a case for it. Build an argument for your imagination, what you see. Well, look I see this. This is what I could see us getting to that. I could see us getting to this portion and doing that and pulling this here together and that over here and pulling the parts together. I can see that I could actually get there. Three-fourths of the way I can get there, but I know people that can help me get the rest of the way. So I'm going to get the rest of the, right? So if you can start building a case for it, building the evidence for what you're imagining, you're going to see the power of creation come to you. And I want to go to the scripture. Because I know a lot of people, you don't see prosperity in the Bible unless it's one of those prosperity preachers. Are you one of those prosperity preachers? Man, you better believe it, I am. But I also believe in positive, prosperous activity, being active. Now, I'm not one of those people that says, well, you're going to prosper with no activity. That's not going to be happening. No, I'm the kind of person that says you can prosper and you are called to prosper and you're called to be a wealth creator. I believe that all believers are called to create wealth. How could you say that? There's a scripture in the Bible that says Deuteronomy 8:18. That's not what I'm talking about today, but Deuteronomy 8:18 says that I remember the Lord thy God, for it is he who gives you power to get wealth. Now, he wouldn't give me power to get it if he didn't want me to go get it. Come on, somebody. Let's go get let's go get it. I have a people on Zoom right now. My influencers, part of Influencers Accelerator, they're on Zoom. So they're fun. And I love hanging out with them. So here we go. Genesis chapter 30. Genesis chapter 30, verse 37. It says, now Jacob took for himself rods of green poplar. Now, what's really interesting, what you must know is that Jacob's been working for his father-in-law for many years. Many years. First worked for to get his wife, and worked, and he's worked and worked, and now he's prospered. He's prospered Laban. And now Jacob's having a child, and the child that he's having that's activating him is Joseph. Joseph is the wealth creator, and he's the function of the marketplace in the Bible in this family. And so he's about to have it. And Joseph's name means God will add, right? So he's having Joseph. Joseph is and so he says, I need to now do something for my life. I've been working for you the whole time, and I've made you prosperous. Now I need something for my life. Can I tell you just one key thought is very important. At every change of life, a baby, a move, a marriage, you're going to be challenged to expand yourself to go to another level. You're going to be challenged to make more money. You're going to be challenged to think differently. So don't fight the process of developing into a new person by saying, no, I'm not going to get married. No, I'm not going to have kids. All of that stuff, this new society of humanism that doesn't think about anybody but themselves, is actually destroying the fact that humanity is supposed to be driven to achieve by the fact that we are growing in family. So if you destroy family, you destroy achievement, and you just cause more and more selfish activity. I'm not going to go there. Anyway, here we go. Jacob is now desiring to have his own business and his own legacy because he's having a child. Now that desire should cause you to grow, should cause you to say, now I got to do something. I was fine working for $800 a month before I got married. I was working $800 a month. I was a youth pastor. I was eating government cheese out of the food bank of the church. I mean, my diet was literally top ramen from the food bank, cheese from the food bank, and then eggs from the food bank from the church that I was working for. So I would go in there and I would get that, and then I would come home, and my roommates and I, we would make top ramen, cheese, eggs, and sometimes tuna fish casserole. And that's what we would eat. That's how I ate. You guys don't know nothing about no top ramen, tuna fish, cheese, casserole. And then if I was really like splurgy, I would go and get some leeks, and I would cut some leeks on top of it, right? So then I'm really like fine dining. Well, that was how I was fine with it. I was served, and I was just we're having so much chat over here. It's just hilarious. I was willing to live like that. I was willing to live like that. Then I met my wife. I was like, I'm going to need to get a better car. I'm going to need to, come on, somebody. I'm going to need to step up. I need to make sure she's never going to eat. I remember the first time I made the top ramen, and I just wanted to see what it was like now that I was living like a normal person. I wanted to see what it was like to have top ramen and to have, tuna fish and tuna fish with cheese on top of it. And she came in, she goes, "Ew, what is that smell?" She goes, "Ew, what is that?" I've never been able to do it since. I've not been able to do it since. She's never allowed me ever to do it. But the fact is the realization is that it was good for a hungry, really, really starving, hungry man to have something that filled his stomach. But I couldn't bring that into the marriage. And I for sure couldn't bring the car that I was bringing in the house. And So it causes you to step up. Never neglect the fact that there is going to be an activation to your imagination to think of a better life, to dream of a better life, to want a better life when you involve people in your life. When you bring people along with you, you know you're going to have a different standard. When you bring people along with you, you're going to make sure that you raise up a different standard. So when you decide that I'm going to make money, usually it's because you are wanting to bring someone along with you, impress someone, do something for someone, create a moment for someone, right? That's going to be the motivator. And you're going to have that. You're going to want to. So as soon as he had a child and his name was added to you, his name was Joseph, he decided I needed to go to Laban. He talked to Laban and says, Laban, listen, I've been making you a lot of money, a lot of cash. And so listen, I need to do something for myself. Now I have a family, I have a baby on the way. I need a raise. Now, this is important. He didn't ask for a raise. He asked for a business. He asked for an opportunity. And the only difference between you being an employee and you being an employer is your concept of it. You should realize that who you work for now, you work for them, but literally what they are is a client of yours, and you are giving them services. So don't just come into any business as if you are an employee. Act like an entrepreneur and know that you are delivering services to a client of yours. And if you have that, then asking for increase is not asking for an increase in your wages. It's asking for an increase with your client, and you can find other clients that will serve you, and so you can continue to build. That's what he's doing here. He's asking for more. He says, okay, so this is what I want to do. I want to separate the animals that we have here. I want you to take all of the solids. Now, the solids would be the majority. All of the solid color, cattle. I want you to take them all. They're all going to be yours of the herd. Just leave me the ones that have speckles, and leave me the ones that have stripes, and the odd ones. Leave me those, and these will be my wages. And he says, now, even better yet, now that we have a good agreement going on, I'm going to continue to take care of yours. And as I take care of yours, anything that comes out that's, speckled and spotted and striped, just let them be a part of mine. And he goes, oh, Laban's like, oh yeah, if that could be real, if you could really pull that off, that would be great. That'd be awesome. And so what they did is they came to an agreement. They struck an agreement, and then they separated everything. They separated the solids up to, I think they said it was 3 days away. 3 days away, and then he had his there. So every time he was taking care of Laban's, he would bring them down to the watering trough, and he would take of a limb. And it was 3 kinds of trees. He would take of an almond tree, a hazel tree, and poplar, green poplar. And he would shave strips in it, and he would put these strips in front of the animals as they're drinking. And as they're drinking, they probably like, hey, I ain't seen you in a while. Shoot. Anyway, they started to populate, and every population, as they, had their babies, as they conceived, the ones that came out were speckled. The ones that came out, they were, the ones that were looking at the rods, they came out and they had the different marks on them. And so he increased by that. And this whole story is about the power of imagination. This whole story is about, if you understand that whatever you put your eyes on, whatever you see, whatever you meditate, whatever you're doing when you're passionate, is going to come through you. It's going to happen for you. It's going to produce for you. Now, there's people that use their imagination, but they're never really passionate about what they use. I want you to understand the most destructive forces in the earth right now. One of the most destructive forces in the earth is pornography. And the reason pornography is destructive is because it uses your imagination and ties it into passion. And if you tie your imagination and the passion, it's going to cause a high level of productivity. Now, the pornography industry is actually making billions and billions of dollars because these are the 2 keys of achievement. The keys of achievement is passion and imagination. And so if you use your passion and your imagination for what you want to do, then you will become someone who is productive, someone who's not just falsely productive, someone who's just faking it, but someone who's truly productive. Now, a person who is using their imagination for things that can never produce, pornography, using your imagination for things that can never produce, that literally is a waste of an imagination, and it is breaking your imagination, and it is destroying your productivity. It is literally destroying your productivity. So if you want to be better, use your imagination to see yourself better, not just to see yourself in a temporary circumstance of passion. Now, this is extremely important for young men. Extremely important for women. Men and women are both having the same challenge in the world. I don't want to make this about pornography, but I want you to understand this is the way the industries are work. If you understand the industry, all industry is based upon optics. Optics are in optics either activate passion or they communicate to passion. They will confirm a passion. So when you realize that what you look at, what you imagine is going to either communicate passion or confirm a passion, and you want your passion completely pushing towards the product that you want to create, the productivity that you want in your life. Okay, I feel like I got deep here, but I want you to know that this is the key component that we're seeing here, that he's putting in front of these animals. Now he said, I'm not going to put this kind of rod in front of the weak and feeble ones. I'm going to put this rod in front of only the strong ones so that he could have only a strong productivity. I want you to stop putting your best energy, your best imagination, and your best productivity in front of weak things, feeble things. That's why I mentioned the other thing there that I mentioned, right? I don't know if in YouTube or Facebook is going to get mad at me for saying it. But the fact is, that's why I mentioned that, is because that puts your imagination into feeble things. Now you imagine things that could never come to pass, then things that will never actually produce in your life, things that will never make things happen. But if you put your imagination on strong things, you put in front of you the strong things, and you put in front of you what you want to produce when you're in the strong moment, producing things, increasing things, things that build, things that transform, things that make the world a better place. And you put that in front of you and you put your passion in it and you get excited about it, you will be an unstoppable force of productivity. You will cause more things to be built, more things to be created, more things to be owned, more things to be designed than you could ever imagine. Don't waste your energy of passion and optics on feeble things. Put it on productive things. Make sure that you write it down. Let's look at let's look at these things that he did. He wrote down what he wanted. What's really amazing, he wrote down what he wanted, and then God added what he wanted to give him. He wrote down only strips. He only put on the paper strips. But he got spots. If you start with what you know, God will add to you what you don't know. He will bring people along that will help you see a vision that you couldn't see, that you need to just know, that you just write it down, make it plain so that other people can run with it. Oh, come on now. So other people can run with it. And then someone who is polka dots will come and want to hang out. And then now you have strips and polka dots and stripes. And you need to understand that your world gets bigger, because as you're doing productivity and you're doing productive things, people are attracted to productivity. People are attracted to achievement. People are not attracted to feeble activities. People are attracted to productivity, strong activities. Come out of this thing strong. Be strong and know that whatever you put in front of you is what you're going to produce, and what you produce will now attract other producers. Other people will come and want to be a part of it. He increased and increased and increased. And it says that he increased to the point that he didn't only just have the one kind of livestock, but he had all kinds of livestock, cattle, camel. I don't know what, he just started getting stuff. Do you know that once you are good at one thing, you can be good in another thing? You will use the same muscles that you used to create livestock and have the herd of cattle. You can use that for sheep. You can use that same thing over here you can use that same thing over here for cattle and for camels And that's what he did. He began to grow in livestock. He grew and grew and grew in livestock, and they continue to conceive in front of these different things. If you know that, if you look at someone and you say, well, how can Elon Musk go from being the PayPal guy and a software guy to being the guy that's over here that's doing something with cars and doing something on the moon, is because the same muscles he learned when he was putting the software together is the same muscles he learned he uses those same muscles, and he brings people along that are spotted, that have stripes, and right, you have to understand, bring people along with you. I'm going to give you a number. If you are not focused on maybe you make more than $250,000 a year. I hope you do. But if you don't, then put that as your number, because most people don't make $250,000 a year without other people. So the moment you put a number on you, you're going to have to activate other people. You put $500,000 a year in your life. You say, I want to make $1 million a year. You have to add new people to you. You want to make $1 billion a year. You have to add new people, not just hanging out with billionaires. That's great. They may introduce you to some people that can help you execute your billionaire strategy. But the fact is, and they may help you with your imagination and your motivation. But the fact is you're going to have to actually grow as a person that will attract to you the kind of people who want to build industries of $1 billion industries, $1 million industries. You're going to attract people. If you just say, I just want to get to $250,000 a year. Maybe I just want to get to $100,000 a year. You can do that on your own. Increase it, go higher, $250,000 a year, be in that position, because you're going to need people to come with you. And so when you're doing that, you start to look for people. You stop thinking about yourself. You start bringing people along. You start bringing increase with you. I mean, when you bring people along with you, they bring their skills, they bring their talent, they bring their ability, and they will make sure that you will not only have only striped animals, but you'll have camels and you'll have every aspect there is, because you'll be added to, because this is the season of being added to. I'm telling you, I'm getting ready for 2023. And this season, I am getting ready for this season, and it's going to be very powerful. I'm finishing this season by collecting the right people that will help me achieve what we're supposed to achieve in 2023, because 2023 is about the people you surround yourself with and the passion you all give towards a certain common purpose. Now, when you do that, you're going to come out of 2023, you're going to be a millionaire, you're going to be a billionaire, you're going to be someone who's wealthy, you're going to be someone who's achieving, you're going to surround yourself with new people. And I just need you to understand, it's very important that you give yourself to developing livestock. Do you know that there's a difference between livestock and lifestyle? Livestock and lifestyle. Now, if you think about it, everything he did was livestock. It wasn't that he just had, a bunch of dogs and a bunch of cats. Those are lifestyle pets. Hug and kiss and whatever people do stuff. I remember seeing something right on social media. Terrible, right? Anyway, livestock is for the sake of producing. Lifestyle is for the sake of entertaining and enjoying. Now, don't have a livestock life. Don't have a lifestyle life before you have a livestock life. Create livestock. Create things that are going to make money for you. A camel is a livestock. These things that it says that Jacob had, he put himself into livestock. Build a business. Make sure that business is working, and then build your house. The Bible says, make it fit for you in the farm, out in the field, and then build your house. So many people are trying to build their house and, look at my house, look at my car, look at my life, look at my lifestyle, but they don't really have livestock. Make livestock happen. People say, why don't you get a new car, Tracy? My car's paid off. I'm excited for a paid off car. 2000, well, I actually don't have a car. I gave my car away. I gave my car. My wife's car is paid off, and I use her car. I realized I gave my car away, but all my cars are paid off. I don't have any car payments. Could you have a car payment? Yeah, I could have a car payment. I could go and get any car I want to right now. But maybe there's some things that I probably couldn't get. Maybe I could. I don't know. But the fact is, the realization is, I am actually looking at a life of delayed gratification, because delayed gratification is not old. It's not old school. It is still a part of real livestock development. I'm developing livestock. I'm developing TV. I'm developing coaching programs. I'm developing people. I'm developing relationships. I'm creating livestock. If you're busy creating lifestyle, then you're going to spend all of your livestock time of building and creating. You're not going to be thinking about equity. You're thinking about income. I don't want to think about income. I'm not thinking about income. I'm thinking about equity. I want to build something that's going to pay me later, and I want to establish right now what's going to pay me later. So that's livestock. Okay. I'm getting into something. I don't want to jump into that. I got only 4 more minutes here. 4 more minutes. I want to give you the 7 things that I learned. Is it 7 things? 7 things I learned out of this story. You can go back and read it for yourself. 7 things, real quick. Number 1, use your imagination. Use your imagination with passion. We talked about that. Use your imagination with passion. When I used to run and I used to work out and I was getting ready and I wanted to run in football, I wanted to run a 4.5 40. And I couldn't run a 4.5 40. I was running like a 4.7, a 4, maybe I had 4.8. Then I couldn't run a 4.5. But I used to wear this shirt. I used to wear this shirt running these stairs to try to get my legs right, get my calves right, get my speed up. And I would wear the shirt. It says, if you can conceive it, you can believe it. If you can conceive it and believe it, you can achieve it. And I want you to know that's true. If you can conceive it and believe it, then you will achieve it. Let your imagination conceive something for you to believe. Don't just believe what you see. Let your imagination conceive something that you can believe. And then write it down. I'm going ahead of myself. That's number 2. Write it down. Before I get to number 2, I want you to know that the thing that's very important is that he didn't put these sticks in front of them when they were out there just eating and grazing. He put them in front of them when they were drinking, when they were getting refreshed. And when they felt refreshed, they felt sexy. When they felt sexy and passionate, then they started to populate. So you have to understand your passion comes from a carnal place. I know that you want to be spiritual about it. You have to know everything you produce. Everything, someone raps, they handled their business. Everything you produce in life is going to come from your carnal person. Your spiritual person is going to help you dream, but you're going to have to bring it from the dream state, from the imagination state to the action state. And that's going to be someone who is going to get busy, right? You're going to have to get busy and get active. And dream is great. I love all these metaphorical thoughts and what ifs. But the fact is that I can't live on the what if. I have to bring it here and I have to action it out. I have to be busy about it. And so get busy with it. Number 2, write it down. Write it down for yourself and write it down for others. Make strips in that wood. Make strips in the wood and put it out there for everyone to see. And whoever you want to produce, put it in front of them. If you want them to produce, you want them to make it, don't let them just make the bottom of the trough. They'll look at the water and they'll see themselves. Don't just do that. Put something in front of them. Make them see what the goal is and keep it in front of them. Write it down for yourself and for others. That's going to be very much powerful for the vision. Number 3, put it in front of your producers, not just your people, not just anybody. Make sure your producers are seeing it. Make sure you're talking to your producers about it. Make sure you're driving it and you're teaching and training and coaching your producers for it. So just putting it out there is going to be great. Customers are going to see it. Everybody's going to see it. But customer sees it. They're like, oh, that's great. A receptionist may see it and may not have any passion towards it, but your producers are going to have passion towards it. So you want to make sure that not only do you put it out there in front of them, but you make sure that your producers are seeing it and they know it. They're owning it. They're living in it. And that they're going to be people. Don't just put it in front of your available people is what I'm saying. There's a lot of people that are available, but they're not producers. Don't put it in front of available people. Then if you do, you'll trick yourself thinking that it's being done by available people when producers are the only ones that get it done. That was smoky, baby. Number 4, avoid feeble and weak people at the production level. Avoid them. It doesn't mean you can't love them. Doesn't mean you don't want to see the best, but wave at them. Avoid feeble and weak people, feeble and weak things that are going to steal your imagination. People who can't dream with you, people who can't believe with you, people who don't produce things can't understand what you're talking about. If they don't produce things, don't try to share your vision with people who don't understand productivity. If they're not achieving, they are the wrong piece in the wrong person to share with. They're the wrong person to share with. Okay. So mercy has nothing to do with productivity. Don't get it mixed up. Love him, take him to dinner, give him some food, but you need productivity. Number 5, pick productivity over pleasure every time. Yes, 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 yes. You can be passionate in your productivity, but if you're just going after pleasure, you're going to be like that person who's watching a movie that has no actual ability to bring about change. All right, number 6, delayed gratification is not old-fashioned. I already said that. Don't think that just because everyone else is getting a new car and everybody else is buying a new house and everybody else is doing this, that you need to do that. Don't get stuck in the lifestyle pattern. Don't go lifestyle, go livestock. Go livestock. Don't be busy about the lifestyle. But I need to be, well, if your business really needs you to look like you're successful, like I know some people in real estate, they drive a certain car they have to do because they represent, that's fine. But the fact is, in any other area that you can make sure that you're livestock oriented, get a bunch of houses, bunch of apartments, get a bunch of cars. If you're doing cars, get a bunch of cars and sell them or move them around or rent them out or whatever they do with these new car things. Anyway, do it. But make sure that you're thinking livestock. Don't just get a horse for the sake of riding that horse. That horse needs to be able to pull something. That horse needs to be able to get in front of, like, pull that buggy horse. I'll ride you tomorrow, but today you're working. Come on, somebody. Put it to work. Don't just be about this lifestyle thing. Everything it's everything that's going on on YouTube and all these places is everybody's showing off their lifestyle that they're renting. Don't rent a life. Don't rent a life. Come on, go and be the person that's going to make a livestock. All right. So don't be old fashioned. If it is old fashioned, delayed gratification is success. All right. Number 7, use your harvest to move ahead from victory to victory. Don't just move ahead with your harvest, right? Use your harvest. He was activated by a new addition to his life. New addition should activate you to start to build out something. But then ultimately, when you achieve something, then say, okay, now we're going to go and celebrate. We're going to go and do something. Go from victory to victory, move ahead, but make sure that you move ahead with success in mind by being a livestock person in your life. All right. Don't just eat your produce. Reinvest it. Use your harvest to move ahead. Reinvest it, and keep on going forward. All right. That's today. Imagine better, be better.